Yo, yo, yo. What is up, guys? Hope everybody's doing good. Welcome back to another stream. Let me know how the audio is doing and if everybody can hear me loud and clear. It's good to be back with you all here live on YouTube. Just quickly sharing the link to the live stream on Discord. Getting everybody in there. Make sure that everybody joins in. Hope everything is doing and working properly, guys. Yeah, guys, what a week, what a week, what a week. It's been amazing. Good to see you all. Thanks for being back here on the stream. Gonna give everybody again a minute just to tune in to the live stream. How's everybody doing? Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where everybody's tuning in from. And make sure to smash the like button, because it's been a more than crazy week, guys. It's been a more than crazy week so far. Absolutely mad results. I'm not even going to share the results that I achieved because they're just too mad to share. I think everybody's going to start, whoa, if I start sharing that stuff. Because holy S-I-H-I-T. I think you can spell what that word makes. What a week it has been, guys. We've seen literally some of the best results ever achieved, and the best part is that everybody was in on the same bias. You can watch back the live stream of 1 week and 2 days ago, where I explained that I got into a EURUSD short here on the overall high, and we smashed that downside for 157 pips. Absolute beautiful scenes, guys. So indeed, we're going to start a poll. How was your week? And then we're going to say profitable USD buy. So let's say EUGU sells or no money made. So let me see how everybody's week. I look like my face is a little bit scary when I was typing that, but I had to look underneath the camera. Let me know how you guys' week has been. I want everybody to answer that they've been profitable, or as many of you as possible. And if you haven't had a profitable week, then let me know why that is. I'm very curious to understand why your week then was not a profitable one. So yeah, let's see. Because we still have relatively a lot of people, man, who have not had a profitable week. Then I want to know why your week was not profitable. So if you didn't have a profitable week, what happened, guys? What happened? Some of you are asking, what's the predictable impact or about Powell, who will be speaking in a few minutes? To be honest, yeah. Let me quickly check. What day is today? Thursday. What do we have? Yeah, we have orange folder. I don't expect too much, but let's see. Unless he says something crazy, we shouldn't see too much. Yeah, guys, so around 35% or 30% has not had a profitable week. Let me know why that was. You can't control the emotions. Welcome, Hajir, new to the channel. Welcome, Celine. Good to have you here. Kidda, prop from trying to pass. We were not profitable because we didn't follow you. Yeah. No worries. Make sure to check out the market outlooks because we are there. Entering too late. Didn't book profits yet. Okay, guys, so let's dive in. Let's have a quick look at the markets and see what's been going on so far. So since Tuesday, not a lot has changed, if I'm very honest. We can see that EURUSD has continued to sell off with another around 70 pips in towards the downside. Obviously, what we've been looking for and expecting. Overall for EURUSD, the overall outlook is still some further downside. I still get a lot of questions, Fabio, what are you looking for here on EURUSD? Well, I've continuously stated I'm still looking for that for the downside to take place. For myself, the overall target is either this low here or this low here before any further upside here on EURUSD. At this point in time, you have an overall buy for the sell, which is this zone here. And this zone here is currently in control and preventing price from pushing up any higher, right? So as long as this overall supply zone here holds on EURUSD, we are still only going to be looking for further downside. Regardless of what happens today / tomorrow, even if we pull back, let's say today and tomorrow, and maybe even on Monday, I'm still going to be looking for another shorting opportunity further in towards the downside, as long as this overall buy before the strong sell down remains in control. If we look on the lower time frame where we can potentially scale into EURUSD, there's potentially a few opportunities that I'm looking for at the moment, okay? So what I'm looking at here on the 4-hour time frame is mainly this high here and this high here, okay? So these are pretty much the two highs that I have. This high, and what I mean with this high is the high of this doji candle here. So the high of that candle, what that did is, as far as I can see here with the blind eye, is it took out liquidity here to the left. So that means that that is a very strong area of supply. So it liquidated this high here. So you can kind of see like a little sweep up before a very strong overall sell down, meaning that this is a very strong area of supply that should continue to push the market down lower. So if EURUSD were to see any potential pullback, then I'll be looking for a further short opportunity from either one of these X's, with this X over here being the higher probability short. And the short that I would then be happy to take is something like this, where again, we would then just look for another overall shorting opportunity further in towards the downside. Now, obviously, this is only going to be the case if the EURUSD makes that retracement. There's no guarantee that it will actually make that retracement. That is overall a trade that I'm looking for on EURUSD if we were to see that overall pullback. Now, when it comes to the dollar index, we can see that the dollar index has interacted with our overall level of, what was it, 99.074 if I'm not mistaken. So looking at the dollar index at the moment, we need to understand where we are currently trading at. We're currently trading within the orange zone. So within the overall orange zone, you expect at any point in time, potentially, for there to be an overall pullback down lower, right? So what's happened here on the dollar index is that we've come in towards that liquidity high of 99.074 here, with the first drive up, the second drive up, and now the third drive up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do start seeing a correction down. There's still quite a lot of liquidity left open here on the dollar index, for example, underneath this low here, underneath, let's say, these two lows here, or even underneath these lows over here. So let's wait and see. What I would expect the dollar to do is that once the 4-hour fractal breaks, right? So the 4-hour fractal structure, I mean kind of like the internal market structure, that would be this low here. Then I'll be happy to look for some short-term downside here on the dollar before then, for example, looking for further upside. The overall outlook for the dollar index kind of like remains unchanged, where I'm looking for the dollar index to eventually head up a little bit higher to around 102 in the near future. Let's see if that is going to happen. Not sure. But for now, the overall sell here before the buy up, that is now your overall daily demand zone. So inside of there, if we start seeing that retracement down, I'll be looking for the next continuation up. But for now, definitely be careful with any dollar longs, because we've just come into a massive liquidity high, which I highlighted for a long period of time, which is kind of like the very first high of the descending highs that we have here and towards the downside, right? So this is kind of like your trend line liquidity, which we've now been taking out. Next to that, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, we can again clearly see here that this is the overall break of structure, or let me state it this way. This here is your overall impulse in towards the upside, this green zone. And once you get above the overall break of structure line, which is this black line here, you get into the orange zone. And the orange zone is kind of like where it starts to get dangerous to continue longing it, because you obviously expect at some point in time the overall short to happen. But as long as the fractals on the lower time frame remain bullish, right, and let's say this demand zone here remains in control, you should continue pushing up higher. But once that demand zone fills, then you can expect the overall pullback to happen. Once all of the liquidity gets grabbed, that's when you enter the so-called red zone. That is the most dangerous area when you're still, or when you could still be in potential buying opportunities, okay? And the overall game that we are playing is being well within the overall green zone, when also, for example, EURUSD or a GBPUSD is in the green zone as well. GBPUSD has been an absolute menace, guys. We've been shorting that thing to the absolute ground. At the moment, it's back well within the overall 4-hour order flow. What I'm looking for in GBPUSD at the moment is just, again, still that further downside, but keeping in mind that the dollar index has reached the overall target. Looking here at GBPUSD, there's not really any liquidity in the overall push down. So I would not be surprised that either one, we still see a little bit of a drive up, and that's then use this here as liquidity, and then, for example, tap into this area of consolidation, and then we see the sell after, let's say, the market structure shift. Or I would just like to get this range out of the way itself, and then this is kind of like one big impulse down, where this is just a bigger bump in the road, and then you need to take this out, and then, for example, we can look for a sell down. So those are kind of like the two trades that I'm looking at the moment on GBPUSD. That I would consider for those potential sells. So yeah, keep an eye on that. That could potentially happen here on GU. But overall, the only thing that I'm looking for in GU is, again, further sells, because we are still within the impulsive phase and above the overall break of structure line, which is this black line over here. So let me see, are there any questions at the moment on these dollar pairs? Talk loud. You can at least say please, Arsh. It's very, very unkind of you just to say talk loud. What's your win rate and RR? So it differs. Sometimes if I get in on the right moment, so as for example here on the major dollar pairs, and I get in at the beginning of the month, my win rate is around 80%. But then obviously I'm not sure what the next trades will be doing, that I'll just be taking to pass more prop from challenges. But at the moment, the month for me is already done on live capital, because I've already achieved my monthly profit target. And in September, I was also done at the beginning of the month. So for now, I don't need to trade on live capital anymore. I'm happy with the returns that I've already booked. So this month I'll have a very high win rate, and then we're going to have to see what happens at the beginning of next month, if we're again as fortunate as we have been this month. Yeah, people are very rude, Jay. It is what it is. Let's see. So not really any questions. I see Luke asking about NZD USD. Let's have a look at that one. So Luke is asking about NZD USD short position on the 15-minute time frame. So yeah, NZD USD looks good, guys. Overall, NU at the moment, looking here at market structure based on the 4-hour time frame, we've seen a break of structure down. So this here is your break of structure. Then what's happened is that we have come back up in towards some of these imbalanced candles over here, which is pretty much your supply zone. So the way that you can view this on, let's say, the lower time frame being the 1 hour, is kind of like in the way where you have a drop, then you have some basing structure, and then another drop down. Now we've come back up. We've taken out this little bump in the road here as liquidity, and once that got taken out, we saw an aggressive V-shape reversal back in towards the downside, breaking fractal structure over here, and kind of like also this low over here. Now the monthly and the 3-month level is positioned over here as a natural area of resistance, and I'll be looking for, again, further short positions here on NZD USD throughout today and tomorrow, keeping in mind though that I'm only kind of like looking for some short-term positions. At the moment, the overall impulse in towards the downside here on NU is this here. Then within that impulse, we have a liquidity high, which is this here. We've now taken out that liquidity high, and now what you need to wait for is for the market structure to shift before looking for the short position. So once, for example, this low here goes, and preferably also this low, then we look for a potential shorting opportunity on the retest further in towards the downside. So NZD USD is definitely a trade that we should keep our eyes on. Do you put the same trades across multiple accounts? Yes, I do, George. Definitely, for example, with the overall dollar buys that I've had this month, and with the conviction that I was trading with, I just used Traders Connect to copy all my positions between the different accounts using a dedicated IP address, so that I do not get into any issues when copying the trades between the accounts. Hey Fab, I hope you're good, mates. Yes, thanks, Dan. In your view, what are you expecting after your USD takes out all of the liquidity that you mentioned? Do you expect dollar index to be bullish until up of the next year? Yeah, so I'm expecting a bigger rebound across the board on the dollar index, and also a potential bigger short down here for EURUSD. If I'm very honest, looking here at EURUSD, and maybe we can look at kind of like a 3-monthly chart, look at where EURUSD is currently stalling. It's currently stalling well within a buy before the sell. So this here is the monthly time frame, or the 3-monthly time frame. So you can see that your USD overall is bearish. We broke market structure in towards the downside here, and we've come back up in towards this buy before the sell here. The only thing that I don't like about this buy before the sell is that it didn't liquidate this little high here and then sell off. But still, it's a very nice buy before the sell, from where I would love to see kind of like a short in towards the downside. The overall target for your USD is kind of like 1.11, something like that, 1.10-ish. So bless myself. So I'm looking for an overall short position on your USD based on the higher time frame, and this also aligns with what I see on the dollar index, where we've matured heavily on the overall descending channel, right? So when we look at price action, you want to look at it from this perspective. We're currently breaking out here on the third trendline touch, so a lot of people going short. So there's a lot of conviction for myself that the dollar index will continue to push up higher in towards around that 102 level or 101 500 level. So I'm looking for the dollar index to push up in towards here. And I want to see this, continue up higher. Is it going to shoot up in a straight line? I don't know. But preferably you would want to see a retracement back down into this daily order flow. And then inside of there, we can then look for a long position back up higher. So that's what I'm currently waiting for. Once we retrace in towards there, I'll look for more GBPUSD, EURUSD shorts in towards the end of the year. Now, I could be terribly wrong, and who knows what happens once EURUSD gets into this low. Maybe we don't even get into this low. But for now, my target is this low, and then once we get there, I'll wait and see what happens. Preferably, you'll see just the order flow continue, or what could happen is that we see kind of like a V-shaped reversal, and then we look for longs again once the daily order flow / daily market structure shifts. But for now, my only focus is on further shorting EURUSD further in towards the ground. That is for now my overall kind of like game plan that I have. Checking that. Going to AUDUSD, I get a lot of questions about AUDUSD, but guys, AUDUSD is one of the ugliest pairs at the moment that you can trade. Though I must say, it is good for a potential long very, very soon. I do see there potential for AUDUSD longs. If the dollar index starts retracing, then AUDUSD could really fly because the Australian dollar is very, very strong. We talked about GBPAD on Tuesday's live stream as a trade, as a short. That played out very well. What I would be looking for here on AUDUSD is pretty much just very simply said a double fractal break up. So we've already seen a single fractal break, if I'm not mistaken, on the internal structure. So what I mean by that is here a break down, then here a break up. Now what I'm just looking for is another break up, and then using the 3 monthly and the monthly as a support level to then take a further long position. And that could be a nice hedge against my dollar bias, just to kind of like make sure that I hedge myself good enough. So that could be a potential trade idea there for AUDUSD, and that I'm definitely monitoring, but I would need to break the structure first, and I would wait for that to happen. Can you show how to connect the trade over different prop firms? You use Traders Connect, and then you can just input the broker and your MetaTrader account in there, and then inside the software you can make it copy all of the trades. GBPAUD, guys, who remembers this one from Tuesday? We still have the big fat juicy arrow towards the liquidity low. Liquidity has now been grabbed and we're moving in towards the yearly level. Remember where we were trading on Tuesday? I still had the black lines drawn on my chart here. After grabbing this high, who remembers Yancha was saying that he took a free condition POI entry here on the overall high with the stop loss above the highs. This thing was absolutely sexy as something that is very sexy. I don't know if you've ever had a crush on an actress, guys, but I love myself some Ana de Armas. I'm not sure if anybody knows her. Otherwise, check her out on Google. I think she's very beautiful, and GBPAD makes me think of her sometimes. Well, in this particular situation, where we see a trade that I just have a crush on. It comes in towards the highs, grabs the first high over here. So this high here didn't actually make a connection with the overall supply zone. If you look very closely here, you see it didn't actually tap into the supply zone. Then the second one tapped into that supply zone. And then what happened after tapping into that supply zone, you see the 4-hour change of character. And literally look at the 1 hour. On the 1 hour again, momentum just tanks. We saw the 1 hour change of character happen here at the top, right? So change of character in towards the downside. Then if you look here on the 15-minute time frame, what happens again, this here is the overall impulse down. Then within that overall impulse down, what is the bump in the road? This high here, bump in the road gets taken out, and then boom, smashes in towards the downside. So yeah, I mean, fucking unbelievable, sorry for the language, but very, very bloody juicy and beautiful short positioning towards the downside. So yeah, congratulations to Yancha. But yeah, no, she is definitely a baddie, man. That was unexpected. But bro, like, you cannot deny she is very beautiful. But enough about her. Maybe she'll text me one day when she sees my YouTube videos. Looking here at the daily, obviously the order flow continues, and from the yearly level, I'll be looking for a bounce back up in towards the highs. But yeah, the Australian dollar has been strong, and that was a nice overall short position. Same goes for Euro AUD. That thing has been selling off like an absolute lunatic. We talked about this as well with these ascending lows. The line is still there in the last stream. Again, like, yeah, I don't trade like the 15-minute time frame, and I'm not hyping you guys up and taking off my shirt and screaming, wow, look at this position. Yeah, well, if you guys watch this video and you just tuned in, you probably think I'm some kind of idiot, but I'm trying to explain. That's not the way that I'm trying to explain these setups, right? I'm trying to keep it as educational and kind of like keep you guys well informed as possible. And we talked about this short, and then all you have to do is literally just execute, right? So again, a very, very beautiful setup overall, where we've seen the overall order flow continue. You can see momentum is just in towards the downside. Again, free monthly and monthly open level acts as a zone of resistance, pushes the market down lower, and all of the highs, or excuse me, the ascending lows have now been taken out. So now obviously you want to be scaling out of your AUD, but that was a great trade to take. Another position that I talked about as well was entity CAD. I think this was also on Tuesday. That thing also sold off to the bottom of the C. Yeah, we talked about it when it was probably trading over here. That thing has traded back down towards the yearly level. For the rest, let me quickly check USD CHF, and then we'll check in on some charts to see if we can identify some potential trade opportunities. Ishwar, we trade live every day, brother, but we trade on the higher time frame. So I'm just looking for new positions to take on the higher time frame. USD CAD or USD CHF is still bullish. I talked about it, looking for a short here, well within this supply zone. This is kind of like the final supply zone from where I'd be happy to look for shorts. All it now needs to do is just break back down below the free monthly and the monthly open level, and then I'll be happy to look for a short position. If this happens, I'll get into a short. Until then, otherwise, you want to focus on the longs as demand is still in control here. So if price retraces here on USD CHF, I'm looking to buy the living shit out of it once this low here gets taken. So, or this low here. So these are my two liquidity lows. On the 1 hour time frame, it becomes a little bit more clear. We've now seen some ascending structure here, but I'm looking for this to correct down, and then once this low here, so this bump in the road or this bump in the road gets taken out, then I'll be looking for the potential long opportunity there. So I'm waiting for that to happen. USD CAD, what has that done? That thing is ranging like a barcode, so not really relevant to look at too much. Then we have gold for all of my gold lovers. I was waiting, to be honest, this morning still before looking for a long position until we took out this low here. I just didn't like going long without liquidity being taken on this blue dotted line, but you can see it's already been pushing up higher again. Obviously, all you need to do here is just follow the overall order flow. So it makes sense to keep on pushing. This is down demand that is in control, and now what you need to look for is liquidation on the lower time frame. So what I mean by liquidation is, again, here you see a break up, then here you see the break back down, and then you need to go long. So then you can look at the 5-minute time frame to see if there's like any change of character, and then take a potential long opportunity. We have another spammer in the chat, guys. Oh my god, I love myself some spammers in the chat. Trade with Nikki got sent to the gulag. Ciao and goodbye, my friend. Looking at gold. Yeah, so looking at gold here, obviously, again, here you kind of break up, then here you kind of like break back down below the liquidity lows, and now it's just fueling the next leg up again. So it should just continue up. Then look again at the 15-minute time frame, and then here you see again the manipulation happen, and this manipulation will happen continuously on a very bullish chart. So tend to focus on these kind of moves happening when looking at gold, because it happens like really on a continuous basis, on like a bigger scale, but also on like a smaller scale. Like for example, if you look at over here as well, you see kind of like first you get the break up, then it comes back down to grab the liquidity and the stops of those people who just bought the breakout, and then the real push goes up again. And it happens literally everywhere. Here again, push up, then a push down, and then it heads up higher again. So yeah, identify that and just trade that, and that's what I'm continuously looking for here on gold as well. So now for gold, like this is now, here's the breakout, here's the stop losses placed. So if it take out that low, then you can look for a long position again, though it's already manipulated quite a lot. So not sure if that's going to happen again. But yeah, gold looking good to just continue pushing up higher. Silver, wow, silver, guys, what the actual F? That's madness. Well, that thing is gone. CAD CHF short positions. CAD CHF short positions. So the Canadian dollar is relatively strong. I see where you're coming from on CAD Swiss, though I must say CAD Swiss is yeah, relatively in a good position maybe for a potential short trade again. The last short trade happened here when we took out this liquidity. Now here we have again liquidity taken out. So yeah, if the 4-hour time frame gives you some confirmation, you could look for a short position. I agree. That could be a nice potential trade coming up there on CAD Swiss. Oil shorts, indeed, max makes sense. You can look for potential short opportunity. It's currently trading here at the monthly and the 3 monthly open. Oil is currently well within this overall supply zone here. It's rejecting the 3 monthly open. Look at the previous 3 monthly open as well. It's always acted as a very strong actual area of support and resistance. Again, guys, the opens indicator, change my life, can change yours as well. It's rejecting here the monthly and the 3 monthly open. And from there, you will now want to look for a short. So what it's done is it's still respected the overall bullish order flow. So I would maybe wait for one more drive up and then for the next drive down again, breaking fractal structure, and then look for the short position. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, yeah, 1 hour time frame already relatively looks good. Based on the 1 hour time frame, it could already sell off. But I think it's a little bit too aggressive to get into an entry now. Just, it doesn't look ready yet. Wait maybe for a little bit more momentum to return. I would look at the 15-minute time frame. It's now well within this supply zone. This supply zone took out liquidity here to the left. The only thing is we still have this high open. Maybe we'll raid that high and then sell off. Or if it already sells off here, breaks this low, then I'll also get into a short. So yeah, I agree. I think oil could be a nice short opportunity, guys. I agree with that. Yeah, USD CAD is ranging, Mr. A richest. So I'm not really looking at that at the moment. Euro GBP, what's that doing? It's selling off. Let's see. It's obviously coming from the highs. We have a lot of ascending lows. So yeah, I mean, a short opportunity makes sense. Looking here at the 1 hour time frame, yep, I like Euro GBP for short. Took out all of the liquidity again here. Just changed 1 hour structure. Looking for some more downside on this as well. Here took out liquidity, sold off, and now again we're just doing the exact same thing, taking liquidity and looking for the next sell-off. So let's see if this can sell off. But I agree more with Euro GBP shorts than with longs at the moment. Don't really see the longs. Fractal structure is also bearish. 4 hour fractal structure is also bearish. 1 hour just took liquidity. Momentum is definitely in towards the downside. So yeah, those shorts make more sense than any potential longs. Euro NZD longs from Fuzzle. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, Euro NZD looks good. Euro NZD is very bullish overall. The Euro, and then from a more, let's say, technical perspective, Euro NZD in itself has obviously been in a very clear uptrend, pushing up higher and higher. Then if we look at this here, this is the overall demand zone, right? So this is your overall sell down before the buy up. The only thing is that this low here didn't get taken. That is the only thing holding me back from saying, yes, Euro NZD is really ready for the next long opportunity. Like, why did it not take out this low? That would have been a lot nicer. These are kind of like the liquidity lows that I have for Euro NZD. And from those liquidity lows, I would be looking for a long. I understand why you're looking for a long, because again, here we see the fake news up. So this was the push up on the rate cuts of Wednesday night. So for night for me, because I'm in Europe. And we took out the low of that fake move. Now we've seen the market structure shift again. So it could head up higher. But I just really hate these ascending lows. And I hate the fact that it didn't take out the liquidity over here. So I would skip this long personally, Fuzzle, until it takes out this low. And then I would be happy to look for long. But otherwise, I don't care that I'll miss the move. But yeah, for me, then it's just a trade that it goes. I'll wait for that swipe personally. Yeah, UJ, guys, I still get questions about UJ, but that thing flew to the absolute moon. Like, what you're going to do here, right? Overall, the yen basket is in an interesting position. It just tapped into the overall, let's say, monthly demand zone, or more weekly demand zone, and the weekly low here. So it looks good for a bounce, but obviously you'll need to see kind of like a daily or a 4 hour change of character, kind of like a 4 hour change of character happen. But I would prefer to kind of like really see it on the daily, a little bit more kind of like slow down before maybe a real reversal. So I wouldn't really want to trade UJ at the moment. Like, why trade UJ when you can trade like a U Swiss? That would be my personal opinion. I would trade like a U Swiss or EURUSD. EURUSD, the move has happened, guys. I get a lot of questions. So as well, EURUSD, like the move has happened. Now, momentum is down, so you're not going to be long this. We're not going to be calling the bottom personally. Now you just need to wait for reaccumulation to happen or for the trade to continue. So if you're in an existing short, then it's a good hold. If it reaccumulates, then we can look for a short again. As simple as that. GBP pair. So I see GP Swiss, GP NZD, GP CAD. So when it comes to GP NZD, it looks good for a potential longing opportunity. Overall, it's very bullish. What can I say? Let's have a look at the 4 hour. So yeah, it's similar to Euro NZD in the sense that, again, liquidity here got taken. This here is a nice low because it took out the range low here and then it reversed up higher. We've come into an interesting area where we've liquidated the low here. We've come back up or down into the weekly open. So let's see if, yeah, indeed GN has some potential to push up higher. We're bullish for our market structure shift broken. We're inside discount. We took out liquidity. Yeah, 1 hour has is a little bit choppy. Not the cleanest of structure, but overall it does look relatively good to continue up high. So if you're then looking to short NZD anyway, then I would look for GN long as opposed to Euro NZD long. GCAD must be selling. Yeah, GCAD is a little bit of a difficult one because the pound, I'm relatively bearish on that, but yeah, it's not looking very good. I would say it doesn't really have any direction. I'll be more interested in a long once we see some more upside again. But that's just because the overall, let's say, market structure is more bullish than bearish. But not a pair that I'm trading at the moment. G Swiss though. That free monthly open, is really acting as a level of support, man. But so rangy, guys. So rangy. I would really just then focus on a GU short. If any potential providing, yeah, so take out this high and then we can look for shorts again, or take out this range high and then we can look for shorts again. So I would be looking for GU short and then the USD short. For the rest, GA has already played out, EURUSD has already played out, NZD CAD has already played out. GJ short, I wouldn't really recommend trading the yen at the moment. It's too risky for myself. And USD Swiss is still long as the order flow holds. And the order flow is holding at the moment, so it makes more sense to continue to long this. At the moment, though, you need a liquidation before looking for new skill in, so I would be looking for this or this. Or just let it go already. 80 CAD. Yeah, 80 CAD looks relatively good. Though I must say also not the cleanest. I don't like how everything is aligning, or not everything is aligning here. I mean, we just made a connection with this order flow here, and with taking out a lot of liquidity with this low here. But also not a pair that I'm a massive fan of, if I'm very honest. Yeah, NZD is very weak. Euro GP shorts, yeah. I like Euro GBP as well. I'm favoring a short move down as well on this as well. For the rest, I'm not looking at Euro USD long. I'm more looking at the sells. Euro GBP buys, surely. Weekly is bullish and retrace 50%, sweeping the main bump in the road. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking more about kind of like the direct market structure here on the 1 hour. Like, I don't really see a buy in this. Like, it would need to take out this high with a lot of momentum, and then I'll be looking for buys again. But otherwise, until then, it's more bearish. The weekly, I don't really see what you see on the weekly. Like, there's a lot of sides to the story. But Euro GBP is just a messy pair overall. This is why I just hate trading Euro GBP or G Swiss, whatever. This is why I love focusing on the dollar pairs myself. But Euro GBP took out like a major liquidity high. It's having a lot of struggle here at 0.87. Doesn't really want to move up higher. I don't see what you're saying. Weekly is bullish. Yeah, weekly is bullish. I mean, break here. Can it even break above here? Like, it's finding rejection. I would like it to liquidate a little bit more, maybe before trying another push up higher. The pairs to watch today, pretty much just GBPUSD and EURUSD shorts once we see a retracement. Yeah, guys. Well, I have to run. I have some personal stuff that I have to do now. It's a pretty heavy day for myself. So I have some family stuff that I have to attend to. So a little bit of a shorter session today. There's not a lot going on, if I'm very honest. Not a lot of good opportunities in the markets. I mean, everything that I wanted to play out has played out at the beginning of the week. I mean, NAS 100. What do you want me to say? Long. It's a long. You need to wait for manipulation before entering again. So here you see a break up, then here you see a sweep of the lows, and then you see the upside continuation. Here you see a break up, then you see a sweep of the lows, and you see the upside continuation. So now what do you need? You need a break up and then a sweep of the lows, and then you can look for upside continuation again. That's what you need. As simple as that. But yeah, now it's in a place where you cannot trade it because obviously this shit is bullish as hell, but there's no opportunity here to go long. 80 USD, I wouldn't short it because the Australian dollar is strong. But yeah, the money is made, guys. So let's just wait for reaccumulation, and then we'll have the opportunity to get in again. As simple as that. It's really as simple as that. We need to focus on really waiting for the A+ opportunities. Like I mentioned on Tuesday, GBPUSD sell was an opportunity. EURUSD sell was an opportunity. NZD CAD sell was an opportunity. But yeah, everything has already sold off. Remember here, 1, 2, 3, boom, sell. Like all of this shit has already played out. So there's not a lot that we can actually do then just wait for reaccumulation and then for the new position to potentially play out. So yeah, that's that. And let's wait. And I'll update you guys inside Discord on any potential trades that I maybe do see popping up here and there. So I'll let you guys know. And yeah, thanks for watching. And as always, thanks for the support. Make sure to check out the market outlook as always. And if you want to join the free Discord, link is in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and speak soon.